Hi dear students. Welcome to my YouTube channel Nobel Creator. I fill in the following blanks with suitable answers. 1. Diwani Adalat in civil court was introduced by Warren Hastings. 2. The post of Superintendent of Police was created by Lord Cornwallis. 3. The permanent Jamindari system was introduced in Bengal and Bihar provinces in 1793. 4. The land tax system introduced by Alexander Reed is Ryotwari system. 5. The report given by William Bentinck became the base of modern education system. 6. The Regulating Act was implemented in the year 1773. 1. Illustrate the judicial system formulated through East India Company. Answer. A new judicial system started finding roots when the British rule began taking over from the Mughal rule. After the Battle of Buxar, the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam handed over the Diwani rights, the authority to collect land taxes, to the British. With this, dual administration came into effect in Bengal region. This is also called as dual governance. Under this, the authority to collect land taxes, civil and judiciary were given to the Indian officials, whereas the British retained the authority of managing the revenue collected. Later on, the British thought of bringing more centralized judicial system in India. With the implementation of this system, the British overtook the authority of the Mughal and established their supremacy in India. This was attained by implementing new judicial system in India. According to the administrative plan devised by Warren Hastings, who took over the administration as governor in 1772, two types of courts were heeded to be established in each district: a Devani Adalat as a civil court and a Faujdari Adalat as a criminal court. In these civil courts, Hindus were dispensed justice as per the Hindu scriptures and the Muslims as per the Shariat. Slowly, the British legal procedures were introduced in the criminal courts. Civil courts came under the administration of European officers. Though the criminal courts were under the control of Qazis, they were functioning under the supervision of European officers. What are the measures undertaken at the time of British in police system? Answer. The police are in charge of maintaining the internal law and order situation. Lord Cornwallis implemented the efficient police system in India for the first time. He created the new post of Superintendent of Police. He divided a district into many stations and put every station under a kotwal. Similarly, he put every village under the care of Chowkidar. Kotwal was made accountable for thefts, crimes and other law violations at village level. The severe drought of 1770 led to the weak law and order situation. Hence, the entire police system was brought under the control of the British officers. The system of appointing British magistrates started in 1781. The police officers were under the power of the magistrates. The police system underwent continuous changes. In 1861, the police law was implemented. This law is the base of good law and order administration. But Indians were not appointed for the post of officers. In 1902, the Police Commission Law allowed the appointment of suitable educational qualification for the post of the police officers. In spite of all these measures, the discrimination against the Indians did not. 3. British land tax system made the Indian farmers to born in debt, lived in debt and died in debt. How? Answer. 1. In order to generate steady revenue per annum. This was called the permanent Jamindari system. 2. Lord Cornwallis has introduced this system in Bihar and Bengal. 3. Jamindar became the landowner. He agreed to pay the land tax to the company. 4. He was free to collect any amount of land taxes from the farmers. 5. He could retain the excess money collected. 6. This benefited the Jamindar more. 7. If the Jamindar was unable to collect land taxes due to floods and famine and pay the company, the ownership of the lands was taken away by the company. 8. Both the Jamindar and the company were benefited by this system. 9. The farmers were the grave suffered. 10. Farmers and laborers suffered due to irregular work. 4. What were the main aspects of Ryotwari system? Answer. The Ryotwari system was first implemented in Burmahil region by Alexander Reed in 1792. This system was later implemented in Madras and Mysore region by Thomas Monro in 1801. Most of these regions had become part of British Empire by that time. Under this system, both the farmer and the company were directly linked. The tiller of the land was recognized as the owner of the land. The owner had to pay 50% of produce as land tax to the company government. The land tax had 30 years tenure. The tax could be reviewed after this tenure. Though the small farmers were given land ownership, they were subjected to more suffering due to heavy land taxes. The officials took punitive actions to collect land taxes. The farmers had to borrow from the money lenders whenever the crops failed. They had to sell their lands whenever they failed to repay the loans. Though the company government claimed that the new system benefits the farmers, the irony was that more farmers had to lose their lands due to its implementation. 5. What were the effects of British land taxes? Answer. Following are the effects of British land tax system. 1. A new class of zamindars who exploited the farmers was created. 2. The farmers who were subjected to the exploitation of the zamindars became landless slowly. 3. Land became a commodity. Loans could be raised by mortgaging the lands. 4. Many zamindars also had to mortgage their lands in order to pay the land taxes. 5. The agriculture sector became commercialized and had to grow raw materials needed by industries back in England. 6. The money lenders became strong. 6. Make a list of the effects of British education in India. Answer. The traditional education of Indians was in practice continuously. Certain changes occurred in the traditional education system during the rule of Muslim kings during the Middle Ages. Later, new changes occurred during the British rule during the 18th century. New schools were started for the children of British and Europeans living in India. Since these facilities were never extended to the locals, it was of no use for them. Warren Hastings facilitated the expansion of modern education in India. In 1781, he started Calcutta Madrasa. Jonathan Duncan, a British individual, started Sanskrit College in Banaras in 1792. But it was Charles Grant who pressed for the universalization of British education in India. Its effects are: 1. Indians could develop modernity, secularism, democratic attitudes and rationality along with nationalistic ideals. 2. The impetus was received for the local literature and languages. This facilitated unity in thinking process among the educated class. 3. Periodicals started emerging. These scrutinized the policies and working of the government, which in turn enabled the Indians to have critical opinions on various issues. 4. New social and religious reformation movements emerged. 5. The thoughts of thinkers like J.S. Mill, Rousseau and Montesquieu brought fresh thinking in the mind of educated youth of India. 6. The freedom struggles that were taking place across the globe influenced the Indians also. 7. Indians could understand and appreciate their rich 7. What were the restrictions imposed in Regulating Act? Answer. The restrictions imposed in Regulating Act are: 1. Before the implementation of the Act, there were 3 presidencies under British rule. They are Bengal, Madras, and Bombay. All these 3 were independent administrative units. Under Regulating Act, the Bengal Presidency gained control over the other 2 presidencies. 2. The Governor of Bengal became the Governor-General of all the 3 presidencies. 3. The Governor-General was authorized to direct, exercise control and to supervise over the other 2 presidencies. 4. The Bombay and Madras presidencies could not declare war on anyone or enter into peace agreements without prior approval of the Governor-General of Bengal Presidency and the Board of Directors of the company. Only during acute emergencies, they were entitled to act independently. 5. According to this Act, Supreme Court of Judicature was established in Calcutta. In this central court, 1 Chief Justice and 3 ordinary judges were there. 8. What are the important features of the Indian Government Act of 1858? Answer. The important features of the Indian Government Act, 1858 are: 1. The license of East India Company was cancelled and India was brought under the direct administration of the Queen. 2. The post of Governor-General was changed into Viceroy. Lord Canning became the first Viceroy of India. 3. A new post called Secretary of State for India was created in the British government. The Secretary was part of British Cabinet and was responsible for the administration of India. 4. A Council of India was created in order to assist the Secretary in the administration. The Council had 15 members. 9. How does the India Government Act of 1935 become the base of Indian Constitution? Answer. Most of the provisions in the Indian Constitution are based on this Act. This Act allowed the formation of fully responsible government by Indians. This Act was applicable both to the Indian principalities and also to the British India regions. The following are the important features of this Act. 1. A federal system of Indian principalities, British-governed regions and Dominion states was formed. 2. Reserve Bank of India was established. 3. Diarchy was established at the centre. 4. Diarchy was cancelled at the regional level and autonomy was granted. 5. The Federal Court was established. 10. What are the important features of 1919 Act? Answer. The following are the important features of this Act. 1. Act formulated the bicameral legislative body. Lower House and Upper House were formed. 2. Diarchy was allowed at regional governments. 3. A High Commissioner was appointed for India. 4. Promised to improve local self-government. 5. The provincial budget was separated from the central budget. 6. Separate electoral college was extended for Muslims, Sikhs, Anglo-Indians, and Europeans. Thank you so much for watching this video. More notes related videos like, share, comment and subscribe our channel.